This is not a drill. We are
Right. This
live.
is yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, we are alive.
We are really live this time.
I have to send you the meme that
Uh,
Ragin made
Put it
for.
in the overlays.
Yeah, I know, right? I have to. Yeah, I
Jeez.
have to send it off my phone because it's just like she goes. She goes. Clearly, I am avoiding work right now. She's making memes for us.
Oh my gosh, dude. So how the hell are you?
Oh my god. I am okay. I'm here. I am I am.
Yeah, I'm not living my best life now
I'm
either,
not
but you
no,
know.
no. No, it's you know there really I swear to god there really is something about like even if I'm just hearing you breathing in the background there's something to that.
You know, people paid me for that
Well,
before.
I yeah.
I'll send you my PayPal.
Okay, right.
I'll
I
breathe
mean
for you, Daphne.
oh my goodness. But it's like but you know because it's like you know I've been trying to get like this work like really really done like I said this big project that
Right?
I have this opportunity right which seems to be becoming a reality that it might be a reality it most likely will be a reality but I'm working on it anyway until I finally get the okay it's a whole process right and you know and then it's like it's tedious work and I thought that I just couldn't do it without like you in the background you know because like I couldn't like I have to concentrate and talk at the same I have to concentrate so it's like oh I can't do this and talk and hang out at the same
You
no
need
I
it
need
as a
to do that
distraction.
I need to do that it's like you know
Say
what
it. I need to do Nita.
I
Say
need
it.
to do Nita yeah.
Oh my god. Second thought, you get a free one.
Oh my goodness
No
but yeah
PayPal link for you.
right okay.
Good morning, motherfuckers. It
Oh
is, what is it? It is June 2nd, 2025.
no
It is a motherfucking
no
Monday. Oh, and
no
happy Pride to you gay motherfuckers out there.
right okay.
We ready to do this?
Absolutely not, but hit it.
Trigger warning, fuck you.
Ha
Yeah,
ha! And welcome to the show full of safe spaces and safe words.
oh no.
Yup. Morning.
Oh, good morning, good morning. But yeah, it's yeah, so it seems that it's worse if I just stay in my head than like I said, I just have you in the background, even if we're not
You
talking.
like me in your head, don't you, Daphne?
It's like you definitely help crowd out other things that shouldn't be there. That's for sure. Because yeah this it's just been like especially just really really getting to me just being like I'm by myself.
I
i'm
know. I
I'm in
know.
danger.
Even though I'm only like good for like 2-3 hours a day anymore,
Yeah
like, dude, I'm sitting there and it's like all by myself.
yeah no really it's
I miss you.
right because yeah it's like oh I have all my intrusive thoughts keeping me company that's not good.
I
No
wonder if that's why my anxiety's increased again. So I
right
was
yeah
gonna drink this Zoloft, so I'm like, it's not working. I need Zoloft again, please and thank
right
you.
yeah it's like we're just yeah it's like oh no we just need socialization.
Somebody please walk the dog.
Yeah, we just need to go outside and touch grass. Really, literally. Oh my goodness. So who's joining us?
We got Joseph, Rob,
Hello,
Lou, and
hello.
Melissa. Hello,
Right. And I know
hello.
for a fact Lorraine is listening too. So she's
Hey,
avoiding
sweetheart.
work. Yeah. And yes, we see you, all you beautiful eyeball people watching us from regions beyond. If you are joining us from Facebook, please come over to YouTube, join the sexy people in the chat. And while you're here, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever any of our shows go live. Especially since
There she is. Hey, beautiful. Good morning.
especially no, I forgot what I was about to say. Especially what? Especially since our schedule has been
It's
all over the
so
place too.
fucked. Oh,
You know, that also is not helping either.
schedule. What
Yeah,
the earth is that?
Yeah, I know, right? So we might as well get this started. Hello, everyone. My name is Daphne Lage, and I'm a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist from New York. I have been self-publishing comics since 1992, and you know what that means.
Welcome to another edition of Thunderdome!
I haven't played that in a while, so I am known for the furry fantasy adventure Tall Tales and my medieval fantasy drama Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, which I should be receiving the books for the issue 10 campaign tomorrow. So thank you everybody who has pledged to the campaign. So hopefully your rewards will be going out in the next couple of weeks. In the meantime, you can read both my comics online at egoworks.com. That's EGOWORKS, and Tall Tales, TAILS online.com. And you can check out all my videos on how I make my comics here on YouTube at Daphne Lage, LAGE art. Oh, excuse me. And which also simulcasts through the Indie Comics Network. And to tell you more about it, here's Nita.
It's a YouTube channel, and it's on YouTube, and I own the Google account, and it's just me and some friends, people that stream about comics and stuff. Anyway, I'm Nita Lanning, kisser of kittens and marketer extraordinaire.
So how's the kitten thing doing? So how's
he's terrible.
Oh no.
He's terrible toaster. Oh my god.
No.
Like 2 weeks ago he was a little passive shit ball of fur that was like this fucking big, and now he's this monstrosity that likes to eat your lips after he's done with his bottle. He's got sharp kisses. Little sharp kisses right here, sharp kisses.
Right.
Yeah, but he loves me.
He's
loves
mouthy.
his mama. He's very mouthy.
Right.
Oh, and by the way, so you know how we thought that would like quiet Gremlin down? No, now we have two of them talking to each other.
Now they're all screaming. Everybody is screaming.
Everybody's talking. It's like you hear and down the hall, and then you hear and it's like a fucking echo, and it's great, and they're fucking amazing.
Well, at least that means they're getting used to each other, I guess, right?
Yeah, they do. They'll even play together for a few minutes here and there. I still don't let Toaster free roam just because he's so small.
Right.
And I've got 4 teenagers running through the house, and so like,
right.
I don't want him to get squished.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah. You got to keep even when they're older, you got to keep an eye on that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
that's good. That's
yes, they do. They do. They all got something to say.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my goodness. So anything else going on?
Comics, lots of comics. I am staying busy. That Feast or Famine, it is feast, and it is driving me insane.
Oh no.
Trying to keep up and schedule and edit and market and just back and forth. It's nonstop.
Right. You don't use
good because the money is flowing for people right now.
Well, that's true. So. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. We got to take it where we can get it, right?
I don't use what.
Do you use what are those social media schedulers?
No, because they don't do what I need them to do. I mean, if I could pay out the ass to do one post per platform if I wanted to.
Right.
On a good one like Orca or whatever. Right. But to get into groups, I don't get the right notifications. I don't get sent from like if somebody comments on something in a group, that's only coming to my main portfolio anyway. Right. So personally, I just find it easier to do it manually myself, which is why I have alarms going off 20,000 times a day.
Right.
So I'm sure to space everything out, and I can respond and reply to people as they comment or
Okay.
whatever.
Yeah. No, I was
Yeah.
watching this video of this author that I follow, and she was talking about how she dedicated a month to learning how to use TikTok to see if that would improve her sales, especially since she had just recently come out with a new book.
Right.
So she just did a whole video documenting the entire process. And and it's like the amount of work that she had to go through to pretty much get very, very minimal sales.
Right.
Like she says that the sales were so minimal that she can't even like say that her work on TikTok did anything.
Right.
Well,
that's when I took 3 months to do Instagram.
Right.
Followed the book to the fucking letter, and it was like, okay, this is ass.
Right. Yeah. And it's like, so yesterday I was on Jose's show, and we were talking about, it was all like marketing, and it's like how much is too much, how much is too little, is the ROI worth it, right?
Right.
And the problem, and I think like the problem that is that I have a lot of problems. I have a lot of
problems. Yeah. I'm like, I could write a book on the Asian problems.
Notes. Right. And I think like the main problem, right, is that a lot of us in this creative space, and not for nothing, also the author that I was that I'm following, that I was watching this video of, she writes kind of like quirky fantasy. But the thing is, though, she's not a stranger to writing books to market. Like she's done those trope-filled romantic-y books that honestly I am learning that I do not like those types of books. But it's like her more quirky-ish fantasy that happens to have romantic elements in it. That's more my speed. Right. So I'm probably gonna have to pick up one of her books. But so one of the things that she talks about, that it's like, especially if you're doing something quirky, you're going to have a more difficult time promoting your book, because you're if you're not creating something specifically to market, the algorithm is not going to know what to do with you. Right. And that was like one of the questions. I didn't get to ask this on the show yesterday, but the thing is, though, like after watching her video, right, I kind of like really, I don't know, like I think like yesterday I kind of ended up admitting certain things to myself that it's kind of like it doesn't hit you until you say it out loud. And the main thing being is that I fucking hate this. I hate marketing. I really do. I really, really hate marketing. If I did,
tell us how you really feel.
Right. And look, and honestly, I think that the reason why it's really come to head for me is because of the Tenchi campaign. Right. Right. Because like I said, it's like running Ego Raven and running Tenchi at the same time was such a mind fuck, because I think it just really proved a lot of the things that I suspected, but I just couldn't articulate, other than I hate this. Right. And and the thing is that so the thing that's been bugging me, right, is kind of like getting to a point where I have to reconcile not having a made for market book in an environment where most everybody expects your book to perform like it's made for market. Right. You know what I mean?
Oh, they absolutely do. Like like these guys that fund and they make 5,000 and they cry because they didn't make 25 or 30.
But it's
is that what
like,
you're talking about? Like, I'm not as successful as this book that fits all these
Right. That it's
all these
like
boxes.
right. That it's like, that we want to do our own unusual, quirky shit, but then kind of like still expect ourselves and each other to perform the same way as like a more, I don't know, a more
Mainstream, marketable
mainstream
book. Right.
adjacent campaign.
Right.
Because it's like the one thing that I had said right yesterday on the show that kind of like, oh shit, yeah, that's right. We didn't all of a sudden become marketing geniuses on Tenchi.
No.
The campaign closed out at $161,000. We didn't all of a sudden become marketing geniuses on that campaign. But the thing is that we still get this advice, that's, oh, you got to market more. You got to market more. You got to
market harder.
Yeah, market harder. Right.
Right.
And it's like, how much marketing can I really do for my Unicorn Girl fantasy book that doesn't follow like any, it's not made to follow tropes.
No, it's how you market and the money you have to invest into that marketing as far as that's concerned.
And you see,
you don't
and
need
that's
to market harder, you need to market more expensive.
Right. And you see, and that was also the thing too, like the other reality where it's like we're expecting small creators to have the same success as creators who are able to spend $24,000 on Facebook ads.
And that.
Yeah, exactly. It's a 30-year-old IP that crossed media platforms. Yeah, exactly. It's like, it's the, and it's kind of like, it's like, it's kind of like how everybody kept looking at Polito. Oh, if Polito can do it, I can do it. No, you can't.
Go for it.
Do you have 30 years to spend? You have 30 years to build this, so it's like, but the thing is, though, they're not for nothing, though. There was something that it was between Marcus and Tom that they were talking about. It's like, that's why it's very important in the end to really strategize what you're doing, as opposed to like doing like this scatter shot, like, oh, take all the advice. Yeah. Take all the advice, and then, just scatter shot it. Right. And then like, there's also the reality, because the question that I also asked on the show yesterday was, what common advice did you uncritically follow until you actually scrutinized it? And do you still follow it? Because we get so much advice. And it's like, sometimes when a piece of advice is repeated enough times, and look, I think that we've been guilty of that as well.
I have, because I was told, pull your tits out. You got nice big tits, pull them out. You'll move them. And guess what? For a hot minute, I did, but it was only I learned real quick that it was only because of the amount of time that my name had gotten around.
Right.
It didn't have anything to do. I mean, of course, I could always pop them back out or whatever, but like, it doesn't make a difference.
Right.
People take me like this too, so
right, yeah, it's like, yeah, and even like with the other types of advice that we give too, like, I think that's the reason why, like, in the end, I think that we both kind of like switch to, this is what you should be doing, to like, well, this is what's working for us.
Right.
It's like, because it's just kind of like, there's a lot of like faulty advice out there. Like, honestly, I think one of the main advice that I think that a lot of us follow uncritically is market harder.
Yeah, and it's like, what is that?
Right. And in the end, it's like, what does that mean to somebody, to a low level, creator who essentially doesn't have an unlimited budget for marketing?
Right.
We don't have $25,000. If I had an extra $25,000 lying around to spend on Facebook ads, I wouldn't be worried about Facebook ads.
I would be worried about Facebook ads, dude. I'd be running fucking commercials. Fuck you.
Like, and even then, it's like, so so this just kind of like had me like, I don't know,
I'd be
like
getting fucking big time influencers,
right?
petty
It's
crap.
right. You see, and that's kind of okay. So Tom and Marcus were talking about how they really like. It's very important to be very strategic,
Right.
as to how you market yourself. Because it's like, it's a lot of time that you should be spending creating. Especially since it's like, this woman spent an entire month trying to learn TikTok, and even with a couple of posts that didn't go viral, but it had like 1,000 people looking at it, she didn't sell any more books than she did before she did it.
Right.
Because the one thing, there was a couple of things that I found myself doing recently. One, I've been cutting out how many groups I post to. I've been
a lot of them are a waste of time.
Yeah, so it's like, so I narrowed down the groups that I post to, just to the groups that I know the people who run them. So it's like there's like four groups. Right.
Well, I dropped from like 300 to, I think it's like 35 different groups.
Wow.
Now. But what I looked for was involved administration.
Right.
Like they're on there, they're filtering out the spam content.
Right.
They're blocking the Kickstarter experts and stuff like that. They're getting likes and engagement on the post. Because I mean, you'd have a group and have 50,000 fucking members on one of the Kickstarter groups and zero, and I'm talking zero engagement, not one like or comment for 30 fucking posts down.
Right. Yeah. No,
that's how I broke it down. I went in there and I like dissected each one. It took me 2 months to fucking just nitpick through them groups.
Yeah. And then it's like I looked at the platforms that I'm on.
Right.
And it's like, and again, it's like I've kind of already narrowed it down to a very few platforms that I'm actually actively engaged on.
Right.
But like, even then, it's like I've been really thinking about like, okay, what am I using these platforms for? Like, I know that I've spoken in the past about how I've turned Instagram into kind of like a pseudo webcomic.
Right.
And I pretty much think that, does it do anything for me? I have no idea. But you know what? I kind of like the idea of that's what Instagram is, that you can literally go through all my Instagram and kind of like read the first issue of Eagle Raven on there, panel by panel, even though it's not all the panels, but you kind of get the gist of it.
Right.
So I just have to like set up issue 2 and start uploading that. Right. And then with Threads, I completely I completely limited that to authors only.
Right.
Like, so that when I'm using it for like a completely different thing, it's like I'm not using it. I still have to start building it up again. But what I plan to use Threads for is not to market my book to like the vast majority of people, but to limit my focus on marketing my artwork to authors. But I just have to start like building that up on that. It's
that's a good idea.
Yeah, and just leaving it at that it's not really, because also the thing is too that was really getting to me. Hey Russ. That the thing that it was also getting to me too is, like in the end is that these platforms are actively hostile towards us.
Oh, absolutely.
They depend on us to create content for them.
Right.
They depend on us. Like, they don't exist unless we're creating, putting up posts in our work and whatnot. But they do not want us to benefit.
And then they punish you for being attractive. $10 to whoever knows where that line came from.
Right. I mean, but really, it's like they punish you for wanting to benefit from that too. It's like, hey, I'm doing all this work for you. Look at Russ.
That's how you get it, boy.
You know,
check them dudes out on Fund My Comic. The Atlanteans. Look at that. Look at that. I'm sorry.
oh
Go
my
ahead.
god, no, not for nothing though. I mean, it's like Russ and Randy have been working on this great series called The Atlantean. They're working on the 3rd issue right now, and it's like if you guys like Conan style, well, technically, well, it's called it's called the Conqueror, right? In brand new adventures, check out The Atlantean on Fund My Comic. It's like it's really like that old school, Bronze Age Conan the Barbarian style type of work, and I enjoy the crap out of it. So, yeah, so you can check that out. So Russ can stop flirting in the
Tits and Dragon guys
in the comments.
Tits and Dragons.
So it makes the world go round. So I forgot my point. YouTube, right?
Oh, yeah.
That these platforms are hostile. And it's like, so I started doing this studio vlog series. And it's taking me a while to do the Monsterotica one because, like I said, this opportunity had come up and I really kind of had to lock in to really work on it. And what's YouTube doing? What's YouTube doing? But it's punishing me for not doing another video.
Of course.
And it's like, and it's like, it really fucking irritated me, that it's like, look, bros, I don't work for you. I'm not an employee. As much as these platforms like to pretend that we're employees.
Did you create an AdSense account?
No, I didn't actually.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
Because that's when they started getting me. Like, as soon as I created the AdSense account, they were like, all right, bitch, you're going to do this our way.
Right.
And I'm like, you keep your money, bitches. I don't care.
No, I mean, I haven't gotten to the point where I'm monetized yet. So
that's why I say fuck 50 fucking times per episode, because I don't give a fuck about their fucking money and they can demonetize it. Fuck.
But it's like, but the thing is though, it's like, yeah, so I'm not their employee, but the thing is, though, they're punishing me for not doing enough work for them.
Well, you're not bringing in the people to them, so
right, and it's like, and I saw like a slow, and the thing is, I saw a slow growth with the new vlogs that I was doing, but you see, the thing
you were getting good numbers.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, now it's like it's kind of backsliding because I haven't done. I haven't done a video in the past couple of weeks. And it's just like really obnoxious that it's like this is the hamster wheel I have to be on. Really? It's like do I really need to be on this? I mean, actually, aside from the one that you had mentioned, right? I mean, is there a piece of like more specific general advice? What the heck is that? More like marketing advice that in the beginning you were like, yeah, this is what you have to do. This is what you have to do. This is what you have to do. And then until you actually started doing it and like realizing, wait a minute, this is not
hitting all the groups, thinking that because here's the deal. Since I've noticed the drop back, my engagement has actually increased in groups. Since I dropped off the fucking groups, I'm getting more engagement in the groups that I am focusing in.
That's interesting. So
like it went from like getting 1 or 2 likes here and there to 25 to 30, which doesn't seem like a lot, but when you look at those fucking groups, that's a significant amount.
Mm-hmm.
And also like not joining every fucking group, man. You've got to like and try, and even I'm guilty of this because I get overwhelmed sometimes, but try to make your post more platform specific. Like you can do the longer form post on Facebook. Don't just copy paste across platforms, which I've done a lot, especially lately with my health issues or whatever. But I did notice it worked better, not on Facebook per se, but that's what people pay me for is Facebook. So Facebook is my primary focus.
Right.
But I was doing better on Twitter and Instagram and shit when I was catering not necessarily the imagery, but the posts themselves to the platform.
Right.
And so I do need to get back on that, especially now that I'm feeling a little better. And yeah, I need to sit down and schedule shit out. But
right.
That's pretty much it, unless you're talking give me money. You give me more money, then we can talk, because then we can look into sponsorships, then we can look into advertisement, paid advertisement here.
Right.
But there's only, because this is more, like I said, I consider myself more of a publicist than a marketer, even though everybody refers to me as a marketer. It's really, it's not. Marketer would be, you're giving me a sufficient amount of fundage and I'm going out and putting it in places that can benefit you.
Right.
And we don't have that kind of money in this industry. We're independents. We're not millionaires.
Right, exactly. So, you know, and that's kind of the thing too, you know, like everything getting in the way. It's like the one thing that's getting in the way of everything that you want is money. Lots and lots of money.
You got a sexy book you want to sell? Send it to a mouthy little bitch.
You know, but that's what I was saying on the show yesterday, that it's like the one piece of advice that I kept getting that everybody get. Oh, just do an adult book. Just do a not safe for work book. You know, just do, you know, and you'll make money. And it's like, no, you don't.
No, you will not.
You're more likely to make $3,000 on an adult book.
The titty graveyard is massive, bro.
Well,
it's massive.
That's a visual. You know, that you're more likely to make $3,000 than you are to make $10,000. So it's like, just because, you know, it's like, look, you know, and it's like, look, I'll beat this horse to death, but look, I love the work that I did on Medieval Unicorn Viking Slide.
You'll find out soon enough.
You know, it's like, I love the work that I did on Medieval Unicorn Viking Slide. You know, but in the end, that book, I don't think for what I was trying to do with that book, I was better off putting that effort into doing another issue of Eagle Raven.
Right.
You know, in the end, I don't regret having the book, but for what I needed was trying to get that campaign to do, which was essentially taking all the advice everybody was giving me and dumping it into one campaign.
Right.
And it didn't do any better than my first trade paperback.
Right.
You know, because the whole point was that book was supposed to do I was trying to manufacture a $10,000 campaign.
Right.
You know, I was like $2,000 something short, but still though, it took a year of preparation to do it.
Right.
This wasn't just stick a pair of titties on a cover, do some porn, and you'll be writing, you know, like a 10,000, you know, campaign. Right. It's like, no, that's not how that works. And it's like, and honestly, the people who keep repeating that in the end are the people who didn't do it. They just see it and think it's easy money. And then it's like, no, it's not easy money. You know?
Or they see the one that's doing it, and this might hurt some feelings, but I don't fucking care.
Right.
Like seriously, because the reality is they'll see someone performing better than them that say they do have a titty cover. Right. And they say, oh, well, it's because they have a titty cover. No, motherfucker, that's not it. If that was it, I cannot tell you how many campaigns I've seen not even fucking fun that were sexy books. And I'm talking some even straight porn between the pages. Right. So like, or between the covers, like not just covers and completely fail. Yes, sex does sell, but it's got to be good sex.
There's a very specific way it has to sell.
Right.
You know, that's the thing. Also the thing that, again, I didn't realize it until I said it out loud. That I think that I'm at a point where all I'm doing on social media is just making sure the people who follow me already and who already buy my books,
you're right about that.
That buy my book, that they know that I still exist.
Right.
You know, I mean, that in the end, I think I've just gotten to a point where it's like, you know what? I'm not concerned about attracting new people right now.
Right.
Not on social media.
Right.
You know, because the
Have you met those people?
Yeah. I mean, it's like that. It's just gotten to that. I've just gotten to this mindset where it's like, you know what? Social media is just for me to remind people who already follow me that I still exist.
Right. You can't stop because that's where you've built.
Right.
But you don't have to do more. You need to find another outlet.
Right. You know, yeah. And it's like in that kind of like, and like I said, I didn't realize it until I said it out loud. And it's like, you know what, I think that's kind of like how I have to treat social media now, that just as a reminder that I exist, but this whole like market harder, it's like it not here, not, you know, it's like another thing that she had said too, which I found really interesting in her video.
This is life, and I cannot stress that enough. Email lists are everything in this industry.
Yeah, you see, and that's that was what's funny. I was going to mention that it's like, that if there was one piece of advice that is like ride or die, like that if there was one piece of advice, right, it's mailing list.
Mailing list.
It's not social media. It's not anything else, but it's how many, it's your mailing list, how many people you have on your mailing list, and how engaged the people are on your mailing list. You know, and it's like, you know what, again, that whole thing where it's like you have to like be more strategic instead of just like wasting your energy on stuff that's. This is the thing that the woman had said. The problem was that when she saw what little success that she saw on TikTok, the problem was that she could never repeat it. You know, and that's kind of like the funny thing with a lot of the social media advice that we get, is that a lot of times it only works once.
Right.
And you cannot repeat it, you know, and it's like, and if you can't repeat it, was the advice good?
Right.
Because it's like the whole point on getting advice is that this is something that you can kind of like add to your to everything that you do. And okay, it's like we're on the right track.
Yeah. Your list of what works for you.
Right. But the thing is, though, when it comes to social media, most of the time, if it you're lucky if it works once. And then it's like you try to repeat it, and then it's like, oh, it didn't work anymore. You know, it's and it's like, and it's this like it's all, I mean, it's, I swear to God, it's like you would think that the shit's deliberate to keep you on, you know, guessing and on that treadmill. You know, it's like chasing this invisible carrot that you don't even see it. They just say that it's there.
Right.
But
and you got to go get it.
Right. But you're not sure that it's actually there.
Right.
You know, and then it's like when you get to a certain point where it's like the carrot seems close, like, oh no, it's over here. It's over here. It's not there. It's over here.
It's not a carrot. It's a real beef hot dog.
You know, yeah. You know, and it's like, so yeah. So it's like, it just like really made me rethink about everything that I've been doing. And it's like I said, it's like with Tenchi, it's like we didn't all of a sudden become marketing geniuses.
Right.
So on our level, it's like maybe the marketing is the distraction. The marketing is busy work.
Right.
It's not really, you know, because we don't have the money to do it correctly.
We are not endorsing stopping any self-promotion, people, by any means. Right.
Yeah. But it's like I am saying that maybe like instead of frustrating ourselves with marketing harder, it's figuring out how to be more strategic with it. And sometimes that just means coming to conclusions that maybe you don't want to admit,
Right.
You know, that it's like, it's like, look, if you think that Facebook is not working for you, you're probably right. And no amount of like marketing harder is going to make Facebook work for you if it doesn't. It's the same thing with all these other platforms, especially, like I said, they're hostile to you. The only thing that if you do one thing, it's that mailing list. But now you have to figure out a way on how to get that mailing list to grow.
Highest click-through rates for me, top 3.
Yeah.
Is going to be Substack, Facebook, and Blue Sky in that order.
Huh.
That's where most of the clicks come from.
I'm
not saying that'll be it for you or for anybody else, but for me. And I totally suggest spending the money into a pro Bitly or pro tiny URL, not necessarily Bitly, because Bitly tends to get spam flagged a lot. But and checking it out for yourself, even if you just make an observation and get it for like 3 months or whatever, to see what type of devices you're on, because that's another thing that's important. A large percentage of my posts need to be mobile friendly because most of my users are mobile.
Right.
What browser they're using, I need to make sure the imagery is going to be top notch for whatever they're viewing from.
Right.
And just, I really recommend that you invest in that, because you can break it down to your demographic, it breaks it down to everything. Your male, female, fucking your age demographic, everything, location, you see it all. And so then you get an idea of what's working for you. Without having to sit there and write it down, which is what I used to do. I used to have, okay, this post got this many likes at this time on such and such a date. Wow. Now I just go look at a fucking chart that's already made for me.
Right.
And I think it's like $113 for a full year.
Right. Yeah.
So totally worth it, and not sponsored.
Right. It's that's a whole other thing though. It's like, another subscription service. It's like,
right. Well, it is, but it is a very useful tool.
Right. Again, I guess being strategic with what you have. You know.
It's the one thing I won't go without.
Right.
Like when I have to prioritize, if it came down to it, and I had to choose to pay StreamYard to keep this fucking YouTube channel running versus fucking, I would be on the free fucking StreamYard if if it came to between Tiny URL or StreamYard. So
interesting. Yeah. Because also another thing too, because I still have Monsterotica on the brain. It's like that show changed my brain chemistry. I swear to God, it's like that show showed me a lot of things, that a lot of possibilities that I didn't know existed.
Right.
And how we would have this conversation about how do we get people to our websites, right?
Right.
It's like that's also another thing. It's like everybody wants the convenience of websites and stuff, right? So the thing that I realized at Monsterotica is that a lot of these authors really don't have a problem getting people to their website. And part of the reason, even though they have stuff sold on Amazon, right? They still have, from what I was able to gather, very robust website sales. So what I was able to gather pretty much is that, on Threads, I recently came up this controversy on authors' threads about the validity of digital signatures on, I don't know how this is supposed to work. I thought that they were talking about signatures that were printed on the inside of the book. So it's so technically it's signed, but it's not, but it's a printed signature.
Right.
But they were talking about digital signatures. And there was a lot of controversy with that, because a lot of people said that they don't like digital signatures because it lowers the value, the resale value, or the collectability of the novel.
I don't like digital signatures.
And and the funny thing is, like, as much as we kind of goof on the collect, like the collector fandom in comics, right? Novels have just as much of a collector fandom.
Right.
Because the amount of times I was at an author's table and I was solicited their deluxe editions as opposed to just buying the regular paperbacks. I mean, it was
paperback.
Right. It's funny. Because it's one of the things that Randy talks about a lot, that it's like he says that he feels that the problem, it's like the problem with comics is that we're so locked into a certain format, and it's like and we don't it's again, we're not like experimenting with different formats, depending on what part of the market you're in. We're trying to sell trade paperbacks to people who buy manga.
Right.
It's like that. It doesn't work like that. You have to change your product to fit that market. It's like, and novels have the same thing, where it's like they have their trade paperbacks, and then they have their hardback collectors. They might have like a regular hardback and then like a deluxe edition. They have like all these different variants of their books. And what they do is that, they kind of catch you. You can get like a regular hardback or a regular paperback on Amazon. But if you want all the fancy shit, you want the hardcover with the gilded cover and the, and the sprayed edges.
You want the scratch and sniff panty edition.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, right, exactly. You want the not safe for work prints. You have to go to their website. You cannot buy that stuff anywhere else. So you
need to offer more exclusives,
right? So it's kind of
conversion.
Like, so they use exclusives and free chapters. It's that's also really popular too, that it's like that they offer like, if you bought this book on Amazon, if you sign up for my mailing list, you'll get a free epilogue.
Nice.
It's like, stuff like that, right? But for the website, it's like they offer exclusives on their website. I guess it's kind of like how technically
thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Michael. We are.
He just bought us each half a coffee, Daphne.
There you go. He bought more milk for the kitten.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So
little fat bastard.
So it's like I was like thinking of that too, because it's like the whole exclusive thing, I mostly just think about as a Kickstarter thing. You know, where it's like, if you want the exclusives, you have to support the Kickstarter. But then the ironic thing about it is that I've been kind of like backing off on a lot of the exclusive stuff, because it's like, like stretch goals and shit. Like I haven't really been seeing a difference with stretch goals on Kickstarter. So I've been kind of like,
I don't see the hype for them that was there like during COVID. Like I just don't. Like, it used to be you could throw a stretch goal and it would be like, oh my God. Now the most significant impact I see is from like early bird specials. Like the first 72 hour type shit.
because you get the set for a discount or something. So I got to remember that for the next campaign. So, but what I was thinking of doing is taking all of the stuff that I would have used as stretch goals, putting them in like a pack together, and then selling them with the book
goodie bags
on my store, where it's like for Medieval Unicorn Viking Slut, right? I have a lot of extra postcards and a lot of little extra knickknacks that came, from the campaign. And I'm like trying to figure out a way to like, okay, how do I move this extra stuff without just constantly just giving it away? And I was thinking about what the novel women do. And it's like, and they create little swag packs. It's like, you can either buy the swag pack on your own, on its own, or you could buy it. You could buy the novel and then get the swag pack, kind of like as a collector's edition.
Oh, well, that's
But
cool.
you could only get it on the website.
There you go.
You know, so I'm trying to like, I don't know, figure out, you know, it's like what exactly, because it's like I want to try it at Baltimore with a couple of things just to see. I usually sell bonus rewards at that's what I'm looking to do too, like taking like all the extra bonus stuff that I had, putting them in packs, and then seeing if they'll move at Baltimore Comic-Con on their own.
And Rob does the full moon special usually when he runs a campaign. That's a fucking brilliant idea there too. It's the same premise as the early bird. You know, you get a special print or whatever if you order, you know. So that's always cool.
Yeah. So it's like, so I'm trying to like it. Yeah. It's like, I don't want to give anybody the idea that I'm not marketing or I'm not promoting myself. Maybe the problem is that I'm using the word marketing when that's not correct. Maybe the whole thing, it's like what I'm really doing is
everybody misuses that word in this industry. That's what I keep screaming, and everybody still wants to call me the marketer, and it's like, no, it's a publicist.
Right.
All what we're doing is publicity.
Right. It's
we're
like
trying to get it out there. As long as we're strictly on social media, we're promoting because in order to market, we need to be branching out into markets.
Right.
And paying. And that's money. That's lots of money. And we don't have that because we're indie and we're broke motherfuckers.
Yeah. Oh, and that was also the other thing too about like looking for other markets to reach into.
Right.
You see, because the trick is not just finding another market. It's finding a market that you can kind of like move into without that much preparation.
Right.
You know, like to take what you have already and then, but you're in a different market, but you don't have to do anything different. I think like that's the trick. And that's kind of what's throwing me off about Monsterotica, because it's like, as much as I feel that I could fit in that market, I can't do a straight pivot into it. Like I have to actually prepare very specific product and content.
Dude, your pink sketchbook.
You know, it's like, you know, for that market though, you know, I mean, it still requires me to prepare a lot of different things. It's like, it's like, because honestly, what I have right now, I could not set up and sell, because I am not selling anything right now.
But are you going in there to looking to sell, like specifically sell? Because if that's the case, then yes, you're going to have to cater to their market.
Yeah.
But that market already caters to you. All you have to do is walk in there like the fucking furry fucking porn queen you are, and you can dominate their fucking cover art industry.
Right. I mean, but still though, it still requires me to walk in. It's like, look, it's kind of like how we don't like people who come into the indie comic space thinking that they could just show up with whatever they have and then become a success in the space, right? And I don't want to feel like I don't want to do that to this space.
But I don't think that's what you're doing. You already have it.
You know, I mean, because it's like there's still a lot of things.
You like werewolf dicks? Hey, look at this.
Right, exactly. But it still requires me to make that content. You know, I still have to like, because it's like, look, in the end, all of that has to do with selling my books.
Right.
Because in the end, I don't want to put myself in a position where I'm just drawing werewolf dick all the time and not selling my books.
Well, no, you want the crossover.
Right. So the idea is to nurture that new market so that I do get that crossover, as opposed to ending up with a one-way street like I thought I did when I was doing fan art.
Right.
You know, I don't want to do the Monsterotica version of, everybody just wants me for my fan art, not my books.
Right.
So it requires a lot more preparation. As yes, there has to be. Yes.
God bless Melissa.
Um, it's not like I can walk. I mean, I can walk into a furry con as is,
Right.
and I'm good to go. I don't have to prepare anything different. It's like I could walk in with my books as is, my prints as is, my sketchbooks as is. I don't have to do anything different, and that's what I'm talking about. And it'll feel like I've always been there.
Right.
With this one, it requires a little bit more massaging, and and the thing is, though, is the massaging really at the conventions, or is it on threads where I can talk to the authors directly? So that's also kind of like, knowing where I'm supposed to really put my effort. A convention is once a year,
Right.
but the authors on threads,
they're hiring throughout the year.
They're exactly.
Right.
So
I would say there until you feel like you've gotten your foot securely in the door.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what I'm thinking too. Even if it means like I don't get a table for like another 2 years until it's like I build that portfolio. It's like,
especially with you being a primary art focus in that community at Go, you don't who are you?
What happened? Yeah.
You don't want that who are you that they'll know by then.
Right. Yeah. It's like, oh, I did the cover for this, and
right,
that. And,
right.
Right. And you see, and I think that was the artists who were there. That was what that was their thing. That it's like, oh, you did the art for this, and this. Right. Oh, and you did the art for that author, and oh, you did the special prints for that author. So it's like, so everybody kind of had like, we're all like that 6 degrees of separation at the convention. Everybody was interconnected with each other. Right. I have to create that connection somehow, and so that's where I would have to focus. Now, if I could just get over myself, which is also part of the problem too, and it's like, and not think that it's like I couldn't, it's like, oh, the imposter syndrome, pop up, yeah, exactly. It's like, but yeah, it's what it is. It's just like, even though it feels like I'm like trying to shorten my list of things to do, there's still a lot of things to do.
Right.
And yeah, and it's like, and I do everything myself. So, it's not like I can hire certain things. It's like, oh, well, it's like I'm waiting for an artist to get done with the book or something. No, I'm who I'm waiting for. I'm the artist on the book. So yeah, that was kind of like the thing where it's like, I still hate it. I still hate this whole social media thing. It's like, honestly, my wish is to be able to pull just a Barbra Streisand on this whole thing and like only show up. Yeah, exactly. Only show up when the Kickstarter comes out. I mean, it's like, that's really, like, optimally, the thing is, I was like in the past, that's kind of like how it worked. Like you only saw people at conventions. Right. Like, we only saw people once a year. Right. We only saw other creators once a year, whatever, conventions you went to. And it's like, and it's only like the next year afterwards, did you see whether they made it or not? Are they here? Okay, they made it another year. Oh, they're gone. Oh, they're not here this year. They might have, it's like, and I miss that. I miss, it's like Jose always says, it's like, I never needed to know like Robert Heinlein personally to read his books. It's like
it's amazing how much that has changed.
Right. That it's like that
You
now.
used to give zero fucks about somebody's personal life, and now their personal life can make or break them.
Right, exactly. It's like, like before in the
Glenn.
past, hey Glenn, it's like, if your author was doing stupid shit on their private time,
Nobody
didn't know.
And
you didn't know.
You didn't give a shit. Nobody, like,
now you have people showing their whole ass on the internet, and it's like, oh, really?
Right.
It's like, really, et tu, it's like, and it's like you're sitting there going, oh, now it's like your book reminds me of your bullshit.
Yeah, thanks, gaming.
Right. One of many, it's like, great. Now your shit reminds me of your bullshit.
Yeah, I want to cry.
So and it's like, but even then, it's like, even if you're just like chilling online, and it's like just minding your own business, it's like people says like, well, who are you? Why should I buy your book? And I'm like going, do you fucking want the book or not? I mean, is this a book that you're interested in?
I am the terror that
technically, it's like, technically, I shouldn't have anything to do with this. You either want the book or you don't want the book. Right. That's what my father would always say. It's like, look, you either want it or you don't want it. It's like, what's all this conversation? And I think it's kind of like, a little frustrating to break through that. That it's like, now there's this whole like performance thing that we have to do. And I think that that's also the part that's kind of like getting to me. It's like, it's like, I'm not Taylor Swift, I'm not Barbara Streisand, it's like, I shouldn't have to be a performing monkey just to make you decide whether my book is worth buying or not. But this is what this hamster wheel kind of like is trying to force us to do. And what I'm trying to figure out is how to do that, because I'd rather be doing anything else but friggin' dancing on social media. And it's like that. I'd rather, it's like, look, just leave me the fuck alone. Let me do the work that I want to share with you. Buy it if you want it. Don't buy it. And just like, let's move on with our lives. Now it's just the whole complicated thing. No, really. Where it's like, now it has to be, well, do I like you? Do I like you? Am I supposed
and I still don't give a fuck. I think
right.
That might be part of my problem.
I
might need to give a fuck.
It's like, and yeah, I don't know. Maybe this issue is a lot bigger than. That's why my head is so crowded.
I'm gonna have to talk to a therapist now.
Yeah, it's like, it's too much to think about, and it's like. Actually, no, I think it's too much to admit that this is what's happening. I just think that in the end, it's like, okay, all right, whatever. It's just kind of like, I just want to sell my comics. I just want to do my comics. I just want to finish them. And it's like, I just want to like put it out there. I just want to share it, but instead it's like everything is like a fucking ordeal, it's like, it's like, if people thought like publishing in the past was a popularity contest, now it's even more so. It's like,
and
yeah,
the church
really.
said amen.
Yeah. I mean, really, it's like that's the thing. It's like, it's like, look, it's like, all I want to do.
Do you like werewolves? Do you like unicorns? Do you like titties? Do you like fantasy mice? I got a book for you.
You're right, exactly.
Give a fuck if I'm shoving 2 liters up my ass on OnlyFans.
Right. It's like, do you want this or you don't want this? And I think that's all it just boils down to. It's like, maybe that should be my marketing strategy. Do you want this? Then buy it. If you don't want this, don't buy it.
Look at that.
Look at this.
Look at that werewolf over here.
Right.
I mean, yeah, fuck yeah, man.
What is it?
These
That
knights
thing on Saturday
go
Night
up to
Live?
his breast.
You know, it's like, take
Like,
a look at
look at
this.
this unicorn.
Take a
Look
look
at
at
these-
that. How about this?
Look at this
How about
satiric
that?
unicorn sex.
You can look like, you could have this in your house. You could look like a millionaire. It's like, and then that Scarlett
And there it
Johansson
goes.
clip, you know, and, you know, it's like, I mean, really, it's like,
Jesus Christ.
oh
It's
my
a fucking
God.
circus. It's a circus.
It's
and
a
now my shirt
circus.
is
It's
wet
a circus,
into
and I hate
my
being a
carpet.
clown. That's what it is. That's what it is. And on that note,
Let's get the fuck out of here.
yeah, let's get out of here. I got work to do. Oh my God. So any final thoughts on this?
Look in the show notes. There's some great books in there. We've got Ultimate Spec issue 2 just launched. Let's see. Oh my God, there's so many fucking books out right now. I can't even remember. That one just finished. Hold on. I got something to show people. Oh no, I don't. I didn't upload it. It's on my other computer. Okay,
no.
Friday is gonna be cool.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah,
right. So
Friday.
we'll have show and tell
Yeah.
Friday.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we'll have some show. We have some show and tell Friday. There will be pictures and stuff. Oh, Ethereal Comics has Kill Cam issue 3. If you like furries, hey, check it out. Sexy Underwater Adventures.
Right, with a beautiful Zhang Brothers cover.
Oh
as
my
always.
God, there are so many beautiful covers on this campaign.
Yeah.
And speaking of 72-hour specials, you got a few hours left to jump on that Bear Witch gold bikini cover. Which is hot shit. People ate that fucker up. I posted it. I was like, my phone was going.
Yeah, that whole.
I was like, oh, let me mute this. I couldn't take all the notifications.
I mean, yeah, that gold bikini thing I think was like a meme recently or something like gold bikini. It was literally like Golden Week, and it's like, and then everyone was drawing their characters in like gold bikinis. No, really, and I'm no, no, I don't dance.
Yeah. I'll dance for you, Daphne. Oh, shit, my whiteness is showing.
Right, Jesus. I cry a lot, but I am so productive. It's an art.
Jesus.
So thank you everybody in the chat for joining us on this hot mess of a show. I mean, it completely derailed, somewhere at the end there, but I think we got
I love it. 0 fucks were given.
Thank you so much to all our beautiful eyeball people. You can be anywhere else, but you decided to spend the time listening to us. And for that, I say I'm sorry. No, I appreciate I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you.
We are here unapologetically. And happy birthday, Einstein. 34 years of being obnoxious.
What? What happened? Oh, is he now? Oh, he needs a job.
Oh, wow. Would have been appropriate. Wow.
Yeah.
This is the quietest he's been in a while. He's usually got some kind of comment.
Right. Well, it's nice out or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I had to stop talking in front of him because it was like he almost picked up my language. But he practiced under his breath.
Yeah, he was practicing. Yeah, he was practicing behind your back.
I know
it's
he
like
was.
He sits there and he
I heard him going, fuck.
He starts whispering to
and I'm like, oh shit,
that's what he's practicing.
In front of this bird.
Right. Well, I think he knows that already. He just doesn't use it a lot. But yeah, so
and hey Daphne.
Yes.
He actually he was pulling that one up. Hey. Like,
oh yeah, he does yeah. He does that. So thank you everybody for joining us today. So we will be back on Friday with another episode of whatever this is.
Sets and stuff. We always say
stuff,
and
right?
Stuff,
yeah. Sometimes we just end up with the stuff part. That's it.
It's what it is.
Yeah. So if you want to learn more about me and my artwork and all my other stuff, you can head on over to my main portfolio site at egoworks.com, EGOWORKS, where you can find links to all of my galleries and social media sites, but I mostly post to Facebook if you're interested in seeing sketches and current work in progress updates. And you're going to head on over to my YouTube channel if you're not there already for all my videos and semi-weekly art live streams about every alternate Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern. It's 2 hours of me just working and hanging out with the chat. And if you think the conversations are random now, they're even more random on Wednesdays. It's kind of like being at a convention, but you don't have to worry about blocking my table. And remember that you can read Ego Raven, Air the First Unicorn, for free, uploading every day, Monday through Friday. But if you prefer your fantasy to be more of a furry Lord of the Rings adventure, you can follow the link over to Tall Tales. That's TAILSonline.com. And not only can you read the first 20 issues of Tall Tales for free, but you can catch up on the latest story arc, Tears of the Mother, which is also currently uploading Monday through Friday. If you want an easier way to read Ego Raven and Tall Tales, you can head on over to Webtoon, where Ego Raven updates every Tuesday and Tall Tales updates every Thursday. Thank you so much again for joining us. And in the words of the ancients, eat your food, moisturize, mind your business, and do the work. Because when you actually do the work, you never have to fake any of your accomplishments. Thank you so much again, and we'll see you next time.
Toodaloo.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.